Hey, Schultz.
What's up, big dog?
It's all good, dude. It's all good. It's good to see you, man. It's been a while.
Great to be here.
It's been a while. Joy Taylor, the expectations for Caleb Williams, they are very high. Rightfully so. He's one of one. He's generational. He is that good. I gave you all the smallest demonstration as to why. But are the expectations for Caleb Williams, Joy Taylor, too high?
Oh, Hall of Fame? No. I mean, why not?
Hall of Fame.
What are we talking about? It's casual. It's casual Thursday. What are we doing? Yes, this is outrageous. We've reached the point of delusion. It's Delulu time. I know it's off-season, guys. Can we please pump the brakes? Listen, I can't wait to see Caleb Williams play. I know Bears fans think I hate the organization. I don't. I'm very excited for this. I'm looking forward to seeing what Ryan Poles has put together, put around him. He's going into a really good situation. We have very high expectations of him, as we should. He's done a tremendous job managing his college football career and showing us wonderful tape, which Acho just beautifully laid out for us. I think he's an extremely talented player. He has amazing potential. Can we dial it back a little bit? Not even for Caleb Williams' sake, right? Because apparently me saying that it's too high and too crazy to expect him to go win a playoff game as a rookie, that's too much. Now we're saying he's a Hall of Famer.
But don't you think it's more fair? Because to say he's a Hall of Famer, surefire lock, I agree with you.
Crazy.
But then I have to re-listen. He's the most likely player in his class to become a Hall of Famer.
So
I think that's fair.
They're talking about the quarterback class, right? Because they're not talking about the entirety of the draft.
I think he's saying the entire class.
The entire draft class.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's a lot.
That's a lot of guys. There's a lot of people about to be drafted in a week.
But wouldn't you say that, like, I guess you wouldn't say it, but I would say that Caleb is the most likely.
Listen, here's the thing with me, okay? And maybe it's me, maybe it's my proximity to a first ballot Hall of Famer that prevents this from coming out of my mouth. But I think that we should maybe not say Hall of Fame. Can we do that? Can we not say that? Can we just take that off the table, please?
Can we just say franchise cornerstone,
Thank
multiple
you.
Pro Bowler?
Thank you.
That's
Thank
fair.
you.
But
Thank you. I like
you're
that.
being drafted
Like,
number one, that's fair.
Because this is what it is. It's not that it's it's not just that it's setting the expectation for someone who has never played the sport. Because this is the NFL, correct? This is different. You played in the NFL. You played in the NFL. It is a different sport than college, correct?
No doubt about it.
So he has never played one snap of NFL football. I think he's going to be great. I think he's going to be fantastic. I cannot wait to see it. Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Look, I don't take the Baseball Hall of Fame very seriously, right? But the NFL Hall of Fame I take pretty seriously. I think it's very prestigious. I think it's very hard to get into the NFL Hall of Fame.
That's what it is.
Okay? Don't you think it's a little disrespectful to the other Hall of Famers?
But if you're hearing the question like Caleb Williams is sure to get into the Hall of Fame.
Why are we saying Hall of Fame?
Because
we didn't say it.
We didn't say it.
No.
But the most likely player in the class. I think it's like, of everybody in the class, he's better than all of them. Is essentially what the person's saying.
You could have said that.
Like, he's better than all of them.
So either words matter or they don't. I am going off of what this man said, or woman, whoever this person is, who's decided to keep their name out of it, which was very smart. Let's just dial it back a little bit. I understand that they're saying that this player, Caleb Williams, is the most likely of any of these players to enter into the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
That's what is being said. My issue is, when are we going to apply some reason to the situation?
The argument is, he's the cleanest draft prospect since Andrew Luck in a decade. That's the argument. He goes to Oklahoma, where we talked pre-show. He was really decorated. He sits behind a Rattler, and immediately in Norman, he becomes a Heisman candidate. Then he goes to SC, and he has a phenomenal redshirt sophomore year, and he has a good junior year with a terrible defense that was bottom 5 basically across the board in the country. DC gets fired mid-season, and he's really, really good, and we see the arm talent. Now, I talked to Cliff Kingsbury, who was with him all year in L.A., who coached Mahomes in Lubbock, and he told me that this is the closest thing he's ever seen to Patrick Mahomes. The arm talent, off-platform, the athleticism, not quite as big, but physically he holds up. And then he talked about the intelligence, the fact that this guy understands football at a really, really high level. And I'll give you one more note. He goes to the Bears 2 weeks ago. That's his one visit. I asked the Bears organization, what was he like at Hallis Hall? What was he like at dinner? They said this kid was unbelievable. He knew everyone's name. We watched how he interacted with the restaurant staff. He was respectful. He was present. That's all I need for a franchise quarterback. Now, to say he's a Hall of Famer, that's a lot for anyone.
He didn't say he was a Hall of Famer.
But even to say the expectation is he is going to be one or he could be one, that's a lot.
That's crazy.
Peyton Manning was the #1 pick. He's a Hall of Famer. Andrew Luck was a great player. He's not a Hall of Famer. I mean, this is.
I guess I'm hearing it differently. Okay. I'm hearing it as he's more likely than all of them to get into the Hall of Fame.
You're hearing it as he's the most talented player in the draft. Then that's why he's going #1. That's how you're hearing it. But tagging Hall of Fame to it, that's crazy. Like that's crazy because even some of the players that we think might be on the border of the Hall of Fame, Eli Manning,
Phillip Rivers,
2 Super Bowls, 2 Super Bowl MVPs, and some people still may say, should he get in? And we just saying this dude before he even throws a pass, we shouldn't even be saying no Hall of Fame and nothing with none of these players in the draft right now. Acho?
I can't go with you there, James. Only because, I think when you're assessing college players, you assess their talent. Oh, he's good. That's what they do. They say he's capable of being a contributor on special teams. He's capable of being a serviceable linebacker. That's what they said about Emmanuel Acho. About James Jones, they probably said, hey, he's capable of being a 10-year starter in the National Football League. About Odell Beckham, they probably said, hey, he's capable of being a perennial All-Pro. And then about Randy Moss, they may have said he has Hall of Fame talent. That's what they are saying. He is the most likely player in his class to become a Hall of Famer. So of Neighbors, of Harrison, of Penix, of Adunze, of everybody, he's just most likely to do it. It's not saying he's going to do it. It's just saying he's most likely to do it. I don't see the issue. He is.
Because it's the Hall of Fame. What are we talking about? He said Hall of Fame for a reason, right?
Correct.
He knows what it is. He knows where it is. He's heard of it before, clearly. Why would you say that? This is why I'm saying this is getting out of control. It's not that I don't think Caleb Williams will have a spectacular career, but he has not played yet. And we're talking about he's the most likely in this class to be a Hall of Famer?
Is the statement, let's start here. Let's start at the lowest level of answering the question. Is the statement objectively incorrect? I do not think so. I think he is the most likely player to be a Hall of Famer. I do not think, let me not say I don't think I'm not sure he will be a Hall of Famer, but I believe that the statement is quite literally objectively factual of every player in the class.
Aren't we talking about expectations? What sets expectations?
So basically, every dude that go in the first round got a chance to be a Hall of Famer? Because that's basically what they're saying. You draft somebody in the first round, you're a All-Pro. That's what they think they are getting.
The top 15. You know how it goes. The back 15, you never know.
So the top 15, you're hoping we thinking they Hall of Famers.
More than likely talent.
But what did Bill Belichick say yesterday? He said, when it comes to first-round receivers and quarterbacks, it's basically a 50-50 hit-miss rate. So if that's the case, let's say he's a #1 pick. It's only like 75-80% that they become really, really, really good. So we're expecting him, if we're already putting Hall of Fame, the only place he can go is down.
That's a great point. Here's my other thought, though, because I was researching not the Bill Belichick statement, but I don't think Joy, James, Schultz, well, 3 J's today. I don't think Joy, James, and Jordan, I don't think that it's unrealistic to expect Caleb to go crazy. Here's why. If you look at the last 10 #1 overall picks at the quarterback position since 2011, Cam Newton's year, I would say that the majority of them lived up to their expectations.
Yeah.
Cam lived up to his. Andrew Luck lived up to his. Jameis Winston, I wouldn't say lived up to his. Jared Goff lived up to his. I would say Baker Mayfield lived up to his. Kyler Murray lived up to his. Joe Burrow exceeded his. And then Trevor Lawrence, jury's still out. Bryce Young disqualified. He hasn't been around there long enough. So only quickly I'm saying is all of these players lived up to their expectations, whatever their expectations may have been.
And really quick, how many of them names right there going into the Hall of Fame?
Cam Newton, probably the only one.
If that. I don't even think Cam is.
All right, but at this point, I'm saying MVPs usually go to the Hall of Fame.
Even with Cam, it's going to be very, very
probably 50-50 at best.
Only thing I'm saying is more often than not, in large part because of the proximity between the college game and the NFL game now, there's a lot more carryover. Even when I was coming out of college, defensive coordinators in the NFL didn't know how to stop the inside zone. You can't stop inside zone. You can't stop zone read because they didn't see it. Because of how much the game is similar, college to NFL now, there's more likely that these picks hit. That's why most of these
nobody's saying that he's not going to hit. I absolutely think Caleb Williams is going to hit. I think he's going to be great. But to Jordan's point, if the standard is Hall of Fame, where else can you go? You got to be in the special room in the Hall of Fame. You got to be first ballot. You got to be.
Well, there's like there's the tiers that aren't really there.
Right.
The A, the B.
Of course.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you get into the special
we
room.
talking Hall of Fame. He got the same color jacket.
Yeah.
As them boys.
I guess
we got to ease up on it.
I can't, only because, like James, he was supposed to be special out of high school. And then in college and high school game, they're different. I believe they're all still football, but they're different. Then he gets to college. Yeah. He wasn't just special.
Yeah.
He was crazy at OU. Crazy. Like, when I saw Caleb take his first meaningful snap against my alma mater in the biggest rivalry, top 5 rivalry in all of college football, and he comes back from down 21 points, wins, leaves OU, goes to a new city, goes to a new state, goes to a new team, wins the Heisman.
Yeah.
He's done it. And when I look at Lamar Jackson, everybody had questions like, man, Lamar ain't going to be able to translate. He ain't going to be able to translate. 5 years and 2 MVPs later. All I can say, and Lamar Jackson will likely go into the Hall of Fame. All I can say is we're seeing players be able to carry over that crazy talent, and he's crazy, crazy
And no
talent.
doubt about it, I think his talent is going to carry over. I think he's going to ball out, especially what he has around him. But understand what we're talking about man.
What we talking about?
We're talking Hall of Fame. We are talking Hall of Fame. We are talking about quarterbacks that played the game at a high level, that has Pro Bowls, that has playoff wins, that has all pros, and they still might not get into the Hall of Fame, Acho. Do you understand what I'm saying? How hard the Hall of Fame is? So just like we don't want to throw around Super Bowls, we dang sure shouldn't be throwing around no Hall of Fame. It is extremely hard to get into the Hall of Fame. The Phillip Rivers might not make it. The Eli's might not make it. The Cam Newtons might not get in there. The Josh Allen's, as good as we think he is right now, might not get into this Hall of Fame. And we talking about this young fella that ain't threw a pass to DJ Moore, Keenan Allen. Yeah, he got 0 passing yards as a Bears quarterback. And we saying Hall of Fame. Let's just let the young player go ball out and have a really good
though. And we're going to have this conversation though momentarily, though, James. If I were to say Malik Neighbors, Marvin Harrison, who's more likely to get into the Hall? It wouldn't be asimine of you to answer that question. You'd be like, you know what? I don't think so. Not if I ask him a direct question and he answers directly.
Some questions should not be answered. I opt out. I don't have a conversation. You know how when someone's like, who's more likely to be Tom Brady? And I'd be like, no.
Nobody.
No.
But I think it's fair. I think it's a fair question. I think it's a fair answer.
This is how it answered, Acho. I don't know if any of them going to make it to the Hall of Fame, but if I had to pick one, it would be Neighbors.
It would be...
Okay, I would say that since there are 323 players in the Hall of Fame, including the class of 2024, in the history of the sport of professional football, we just maybe tap the brakes. Just tap it.
I think Bears fans just want a good player. I mean, who's the best quarterback in franchise history? McMahon went to Super Bowl 85, never had 3,000 passing yards. Rex Grossman goes to a Super Bowl. Cutler. Yep. They have never had a franchise quarterback.
They've never had a quarterback throw for more than 4,000 yards in the history of the Chicago Bears organization, a cornerstone franchise in the NFL. When you list franchises to someone who is being introduced to the NFL, you're going to talk about the Chicago Bears. We put them in a different category because of the greatness that has walked those halls. In no way am I diminishing the capability of Caleb Williams. All I'm saying is expectations are set because of what you do on the field, for sure. They're also set by narratives. That's why the media is so involved in everything. It's why we pull up clips and put them on the big board about what people said about Steph Curry in proximity to LeBron James. Part of your narrative and the expectations of your career come from shows like this and conversations that fans have and writers and articles that are written about you. What are the expectations for your career? It's outrageous to me that we're talking about, is he capable of being a Hall of Famer? It's not that I don't believe in greatness from him, but to me, it always brings the things that other people have accomplished down so far. It's because it's so hard to get into the Hall of Fame. And to say that somebody is capable, he's never played a snap. And what also drives me insane about this is we just did this. We don't ever want to learn from nothing. We just did this. I don't care what anyone says. Talk to someone else about it. We just did this with Trevor Lawrence. We just did it. We did it. I lived it. I'm old enough to remember us trying to change the rules to get Trevor Lawrence out of college football after his freshman year. His freshman year.
But what point are you making?
I'm saying does that sound outrageous now, considering what we've watched from Trevor Lawrence in the NFL? Because at the time, you couldn't tell nobody he wasn't going to do
I don't think it's outrageous. I think Trevor Lawrence has still shown himself capable to be a Hall of Fame quarterback. His second year in the league, he goes to the playoffs. He wins the playoff game.
You stop it.
So you don't think that Trevor Lawrence, because to be
4 years you have watched Trevor Lawrence play the game of football.
I believe we watched 3.
Three? No, he's the 3.
I believe we watched 3. 3 years.
The 3 years you've watched this young fella play football, you can sit here and say he's Hall of Famer worthy?
No, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is this. I'm not writing off the talent we thought Trevor Lawrence could be. Obviously, if Shady McCoy was here to my right.
I'm not saying his career is over and he can't
I know you're not.
things around. But you're not going to sit here and say that Trevor Lawrence has lived up to the hype of us trying to change college football rules after year one in college football.
No, I don't think that. I think there's a lot of nuance of which we're hamstrung to discuss as to why he hasn't lived up to that hype, obviously.
Where is he going? Where is Caleb Williams going?
I believe I would hope he's going to a better situation in his first year than Trevor Lawrence.
On paper, it looks like it. On paper, it looks like that. What I'm telling you is we weren't saying that, okay?
I agree.
We were not saying that, and we might not be saying that at the end of this year. Maybe they will go to the Super Bowl, and it will be the craziest run in the history of NFL football. Or maybe it won't be as good as we think it is. We were saying the same things about Trevor Lawrence going into the NFL. I remember I was there. We were saying the same things. He's generational. Yeah. He's a lock. He's going to transform the
And he did. And he did. The first year of his coach that he transfer from the league. No, transfer of the organization. Trevor Lawrence overnight.
No.
Them Jags.
I have to slow down one more time. We were saying the exact same things about Trevor Lawrence that we're saying about Caleb Williams. If Caleb Williams is in the same situation that Trevor Lawrence is in right now, year 3 in the NFL, we are not going to be kind.
Very true. Yes.
Now, here's why I can't say, I can't hype as much as you hype, and I can't co-sign as much. Because if Caleb Williams in his first 2 years goes to the playoffs and wins a playoff game, in Chicago, when the last time they won, I think last time they went was with Mitch Trubisky, 12-4 season. Only thing I'm saying, James, I'll leave it at this. Only thing I'm saying, and I'll leave it at this. The most likely player in his class to go to the Hall, I think that is objectively true. Is he going to the Hall? I'm not saying that. But is he the most likely player of all the players in the draft? Objectively true. I think we all had those yearbooks in high school, most likely to.
Right.
It's very hard to go to the NFL. Yeah. It's very hard. Yeah. Incredibly hard to go to the NFL. I think there's like 1.2 million high school football players, 28,000 play in college, and 270, 280 get drafted. It is very hard to play in the NFL. Somehow my yearbook said most likely to play in the NFL.
Yeah.
The odds are not high. No. Somehow I made it to the NFL. So though the odds are not high for Caleb Williams to make it into the Hall of Fame, I think he is the most likely to. That's it.
And it's crazy, too, because, my yearbook said the same thing. Right?
And you did it.
And you did it. But we talking Hall of Fame. We did it, and we ain't in that dang Hall of Fame.
Agreed.
It is levels. It is way harder to get to the Hall of Fame than it is to get to the NFL, is what I'm saying. So even just saying, if he would have said, man, this dude, all-pro player, we'd probably be sitting up here like, yeah, he got the talent. Hall of Fame, bruh, is extremely hard to do. We say all pros is extremely hard to do. We're talking Hall of Fame. The greatest players to ever put a helmet on, Acho, to even say that about this man before he has walked into the Bears locker room.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.